How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Loners. Here in the spot.
We should change our name to Loners React, because we are not a podcast.
It doesn't say podcast. It just says Loners.
Oh, you changed it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. So
thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Back in episode 146.
Yeah, 146. Roll the intro. All right, welcome back, guys. Thank you guys for coming. I know
that man's face. Sorry, I'm looking at a thumbnail for a video.
He's been on a lot of memes.
He gives me Star Trek energy.
If you guys haven't, subscribe to this channel and then jump over to our vlog channel and subscribe as well, please.
Link in the description. Ow, motherfucker.
All right.
Ow.
So today we're gonna do a video called "Things Americans Get Wrong About Europe." It's by living ironically in Europe. And let's see what we get wrong.
Europe.
Kom til Birmingham! Kom til Perkele Sirkus!
Long held as a land of culture, etiquette, sophistication, elegance, free healthcare, and pretentious intellectual snobs whose lungs are more full of their own farts than the average 13-year-olds are of questionable fruit-flavored cancer fumes from bright-colored Chinese sticks. For the longest time, Europe has been held by many Americans as this vastly superior promised land and an example to Republicans on how to run social policies. And
Wait, what the fuck was that?
What about that guy?
Well, what's that?
It's just a TikTok that went viral. Well, I think he was on live. Just, you had to be there. It was one of those moments.
As a pretentious, fart-sniffing European myself, I'm here to tell you, my dear American friend, that you are wrong. As Europe is much more different than what many over the seas will lead you to believe. So here's a video on all the things Americans get wrong about Europe. One of the biggest arguments I hear about Europe being propagated by smug Europeans with an EU flag as their profile picture on Twitter, or American leftists that gag at the mere mentioning of the word America, is that Europe is super walkable and a wonderland that made the car obsolete, and we all live in a car-free utopia and happily ride the super cheap and affordable and plentiful public transportation.
The American children really have to work.
I just want to say real quick, if you have like ADHD, this is what the brain feels like.
I have at 6:30 for school in day. Here in Sweden, the children are so walking at 11:07 to the classroom.
I feel like I'm too sober to watch this.
And let me tell you something. That is not really the case. To be fair, Europe certainly is more walkable and less car-friendly than America.
Yeah.
And Europeans absolutely have more public transportation options and utilize public transport more than Americans. There's no arguing with that. However, many European states, Western and Eastern alike, still rely on using cars quite frequently. Many European cities are quite large and densely populated. As a result, using public transportation becomes quite uncomfortable as there are so many people packed together.
Damn.
Thus, many opt out to purchase a car and use it to get around the city.
Hey, Mercedes!
So, many renowned European cities such as London, Paris, Rome, Athens, and Istanbul, and anywhere else you can think of that has a population of over 1 million, hell, even 500,000, are renowned for having horrendous and congested traffic. Another issue is that if you happen to live in a smaller town or even in a more rural settlement and need to go between cities, your options for public transport get quite limited. As a result, many Europeans still rely on a car as their main mode of transport. This is more of a case in Eastern and Central Europe, but still very much alive in the West as well. And just because there is public transportation doesn't necessarily mean it's cheap. Using public transportation within cities in Germany and Finland can cost up to
I mean, I will say when we were in Italy, it was kind of expensive to get throughout Italy.
The Eurorail?
Yeah, that was it was like $200 to get from like Rome to Sorrento. Was that like the full?
I think it was more towards Florence, but
Yeah, it was
it
kind of
wasn't
expensive.
$200. It was like $60.
Round trip.
Like 120, yeah, I guess. That's it's a high
High speed rail.
yeah. But I mean, it's cheaper than renting a car probably. Actually, I don't even know. I don't think we even
I don't know either,
looked
but
into
I wouldn't
that.
have even tried to do that because I wouldn't know how to drive over there.
It's for the experience.
Yeah. Yeah, just saying. But I mean, probably locally, yeah, it's probably super cheap. Like the bus there,
The bus was free because we got
until they stormed us. Like we were like it was like a drug bust.
so fun.
We need to talk about that one
We
more.
have.
Yeah, I know. It's
We
just
mentioned it.
yeah, it was
If
crazy.
you're a real one, you've seen it on
That's
this
right.
channel.
That's right.
But still the bus is cheap.
Yeah.
Can cost up to €3 for a ticket, and if you don't book your ticket for the train in Spain or Italy in time, the cost can add up. And taking a
Yeah.
train cross country almost anywhere can easily be over €50 and above. It's certainly better than in America, but it certainly is no transportation utopia.
Jestem chirurgiem. Jestem chirurgiem.
One of the more annoying aspects of American politics is this insistence on the American far left that America should be like Europe and utilize free healthcare. First of all, our healthcare isn't free. Europeans, no matter the country we live in, have substantially larger taxes than those in America. A lot of this taxation goes
Okay,
into
this is gonna
funding
be
our
a really fucking stupid question, but I'm American, so I can get away with it. If you are in one country in Europe, does your healthcare only apply to that country when it? You know what I mean?
I would think so, yeah.
Okay, I'm just curious.
I would think so. But
or any of the surrounding countries, can you? 'Cause
but what do you
I
mean
can't-
but what do you mean apply? Because most of the other countries they all have like they
Because
just
you're not
take
paying
you
tax. Because you get taxed, and that's how you ended up with free healthcare. But really, it's coming out of your
in.
tax,
It's just
right? Or am I-
communal healthcare, yeah, that you pay for, that everyone pays for.
I'm curious if like, never mind. That was a stupid question. Ignore me. I just was curious because.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure it's different though, like the service and all the other stuff that goes along with it. Yeah, country to country.
No, I'm stupid. That was a dumbass question. I'm sorry.
healthcare. Unlike in America, more often than not, you pay the same tax percentage no matter your income. Thus, in many ways, European
Yeah, it's not
taxes are
really true.
regressive compared to the American tax system. To be fair, you certainly do pay less than in America regarding your healthcare. However, a lot of times, our systems are quite inefficient. A lot of times, to get any serious surgery or procedure done, you will have to wait a decent amount of time on a waiting list to
I've
get
heard
it done.
that, yeah.
The UK's NHS is one of the most nefarious.
Knock on wood, I've never had to wait a super long time because I haven't needed an urgent surgery.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I've heard, it's not much better. Wait times here.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
sure they're less in Europe, but you're not getting a surgery next week if you find out you need one today.
But I also remember when you
Most
went to
people.
you went to the hospital with your mom and you were there like all night that one time waiting.
Holy fucking shit. The emergency room? Yeah, I was there she was there already 4 hours before I got there, and then I was there another like 3
yeah,
to
and
4
that's
hours.
with paid insurance, and they were waiting like all night.
Yeah, there was a guy there. I can't remember if he brought his mom or somebody. I don't remember. And he went to Cedars-Sinai, which is like a top hospital out here, because he has like dual insurance. I don't know, him or his mom. Whoever was being seen has dual insurance. And they turned him away at the emergency room. They're just like, we're too packed. Like,
Damn.
we can't even help you.
Yeah, that's
Not
wild.
saying that's common, but it happens.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard, yeah, unless it's an emergency, like unless you're in an ambulance going to the hospital, there's a good chance you're gonna wait a few weeks, if not a few months.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
not an
true.
expert though. It's just stories I've heard through people that I know.
There's examples of this inefficiency, and throughout Eastern and Central Europe the situation isn't that far off. The only time that you'll get priority is if you have been already diagnosed and are in a serious trouble. However, to get the diagnosis in the first place can take some time to see a specialist because there's a huge waiting queue. As a result, many opt to use private healthcare and private
It's
insurance
still
because of
cheaper,
this.
though.
Although the additional safety net is appreciated here, it often becomes quite a burden burden because of its
I can see
inefficiency
that.
and hit on your wallet due to the high tax rates. And unlike in America, you can opt out of paying government health care. Whether you use it or not,
Can't.
You can't. He's saying it's pretty much like a mandatory tax to give into the
You
healthcare.
can't do that here either.
Yeah, he's saying similarly to the.
Oh, I thought he
you
said
can't.
unlike in
Like 'cause
America.
of tax, 'cause
My
of
bad.
taxes,
I
yeah.
misheard. I'm like the only people who... Never mind. Shut up.
you're stuck paying these ridiculously high tax rates even if you switch to private health care.
Got it.
Another thing that Europeans love to gloat about is how they are healthier than those fat American slobs that ride mobility scooters through Walmart to get their government unregulated GMO enhanced cheese from a can. And to be fair, there is some truth to this. Maybe not even some, but a lot. Europe has certainly better
Yeah.
food regulation, they have more walkable cities, and the governments encourage more healthy activities in the youth. However, on average, 53% of EU citizens are overweight, as their BMI is over
We saw that in
25.
our
In
video.
particular,
Yeah, we did.
54% of
Right behind us.
Germany's population is overweight, 60% of Hungary's, 60% of Czechia's, 65%
Holy
of Croatia's, 56% of Portugal's, and 58% of Greece's. Again, not as bad as the US, but certainly not the flex many think it is. Although on average Europeans still have a smaller obesity rate than Americans,
These shows at
Europeans
East Coast mainly?
Yeah, did you see Italy? Italy
No,
was
I
only
didn't.
like 15 to 20% are obese. Damn, Italians be staying fit.
Yeah.
Wild.
It is sad out here. Like the amount of obese people that are out here. Because there's nothing...
You know what trips me out, like about how it's not really that safe? What was that fucking drink that people were like dying drinking from? The Panera bread?
Yeah. Panera. It's like, what is it? To me, Panera's always tasted like cafeteria food.
No, but the drink that they
but
had
they
there.
had this charged lemonade, which had a shit ton of caffeine in it. And they
People
were
died.
doing, a couple people died. Yeah, it's because they were offering unlimited refills, and it doesn't. From what I've heard, it does not taste like
There's like a lot of caffeine
Caffeine.
or something, yeah.
so. Why the fuck would it taste like it? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so people would just endless refills and would have heart attacks. So
Jesus Christ.
smoke and consume way more alcohol and caffeine than the average American. It is not uncommon for teenagers to start smoking young, not just in Eastern Europe but Western as well, and for them to also start drinking early and go bar hopping. So
Yeah, I
yes,
believe that,
Europeans
but-
are technically more healthy than Americans, but you give some, you take some. So this one's a bit more niche, as it's not propagated by that many Americans, but still is here and there by the less educated ones. And that is that Europe is one singular cohesive entity with singular policies, goals, and interests,
Me.
which simply isn't true. Although the EU has unified us in many ways, Europe is still a continent and not a single country with a central federal government. A lot of countries
Italy,
until
it's so
quite
clear.
recently were
and also Italy looks huge right there.
Yeah, I know.
historical enemies with each other. Today, although that is no longer the case, many still do what's best for their own nation and interests and act independently of the others.
Yeah.
What's the law in one country won't necessarily be true in the other. Even in politics, countries must form coalitions and persuade others to push EU laws, and the process is quite slow and bureaucratic. Although we are much more unified than before, we're definitely not unified as much as America.
Well, why?
Finally, we have to talk about
You think we're unified? That's really cool. That's wild.
I mean, the only thing I could
We're
see is
we're
like
super
geographically
divided.
we're more unified because we're one country.
No,
There's
but-
no split.
Okay, but Europe, most of it is touching too.
Yeah, I know.
But not all of it. But each like region here might as well be its own country. Because yeah,
yeah.
going from here to like the Midwest is night and day. To
Yeah,
the South,
yeah.
night and day.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
America's leftists' favorite talking point, and that is that Europe is a far left progressive paradise. And again, to be fair, European states are more akin to the classic welfare state model. However, they are not socialist or super left, the way American politicians such as Bernie Sanders claim. Many European states have extremely business-friendly laws, despite their high taxes. Sanders, when he praised the socialist system of the Scandinavian countries, actually warranted a response from the Danish government, which proclaimed that they are a free market economy and not a socialist one like he claimed. Private enterprise is encouraged, and many hate to be referred to as socialists, especially in Eastern Europe. Although many nations are LGBT friendly, the average European is arguably more socially conservative than your average American, especially concerning trans rights. For example, Ireland technically only legalized divorce in 1996, and Switzerland fully ratified women's suffrage in 1990. Of course, the big cities are extremely progressive, just like any city on the American coast, yet Europeans in general are still more suspicious of immigrants and foreigners than Americans. It is also quite difficult for immigrants to be accepted by the population. Assimilation culture in Europe is more lacking than in America, and many immigrants whose families have been here for generations are still regarded as outsiders, be it for the factors of their own making or the factors outside of their control. I mean, just ask the average European what he thinks about the gypsies and you'll know what I'm talking about. In conclusion, I love the shit out of Europe, and there is a reason I've chosen to make it my home instead of America. But misrepresentation helps no one, and honesty is the best policy. Let me know what you think. What misconceptions about your country/continent bother you? Let me know in the comment section down below. And also, let me know if you'd like me to make a video about misconceptions about America by Europeans. As always, thank you to the members who help and fund and support my work. If you wish to become a patron and support my further videos, become a member of the channel, or go and buy yourself a shirt or my board game off theironicshop.com. My name is Janos, and you've watched Living Ironically in Europe.
Hey, hey, why are you living in the USA? It is not the place to stay. Hey, hey.
I will say, I like my boy's editing here.
Yeah, it keeps me on my toes.
It's
and
entertaining.
engaged.
It's entertaining.
Yeah, it keeps me engaged.
It's so quick.
It's funny.
Yeah. My boy's got a whole business here. He's got a board game. He's got shirts.
I know. Smart, diversifying, right?
Yeah. Let us know if you think we should start a Patreon.
Slow down, please.
Why?
Because I'm barely able to keep up with what we're doing.
No, I know.
But anyway, I forgot what I was gonna say.
It's an entertaining video.
I fucking
It's
lose
just
my
about
train of
the
thought
editing.
every second.
Yeah, he's good at editing. That was, I forget them.
Okay, yeah, we need your guys' opinion on this shit. So.
Yeah, seriously. Because some of the stuff I was like, I don't really agree.
I mean, we don't know. We don't live in Europe.
No, but the stuff
We've never
that he
lived
like
in Europe.
mentioned about America, I'm like, oh, like I don't know,
Such as what?
just certain things.
Oh, okay, great, good talking point.
Living Ironically in Europe is the channel.
But what was I gonna say? Hold on, I just lost my train of thought. Okay, as far as like the conservative aspect of Europe, I feel like that's pretty common knowledge.
Yeah, I never really thought they
I
were
always
more
thought they
progressive
were.
than the U.S.
No, obviously younger generations tend to be more progressive, like generally speaking, but like fundamentally I don't know, maybe it's just me, or not me, but like us, like I've always looked at Europe as pretty conservative.
Me too. The way I look at it is they hold traditions very strongly.
Yeah.
But they also have an understanding of how to like put people first. I don't know how to say it. I'm kind of like,
I would say their own first.
That's what I mean.
Not people
That's what I
in
mean.
general.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean. From
I
like
will
the
say
government point of view
Europe
and everything.
has a lot of racist roots. Period. Like overall. But where doesn't? Look at America.
But which is.
But it sucks because there are people who have immigrated into different countries, including ours, years and years and years ago, and they aren't still looked at as
100%. Yeah, 100%.
So I can see that because anywhere there's super conservative people, there's going to be people who are biased for their own.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Sorry. Oh, yeah, the
I
video
know more.
3 weeks old.
Okay,
Nice.
I was wondering if it was like a few years old or not.
Yeah.
This is fresh. Cool.
Nice.
It's fresh.
All right. Well, that was a cool video. Leave your opinion in the comments below too. And don't forget to like and subscribe, guys.
thank you for watching, and I'm really sorry if I offended anyone when I thought that the health insurance cross borders. My bad. Stupid question. It's been a long day. It's already 10 o'clock. So
Well, there is something though that I had seen where you get like if you have like a European passport or something, you can just go throughout all of Europe super easily and stay
yeah, I wasn't
at
talking
different
about that.
places. No, but I'm just saying that's interesting.
Yeah,
But okay.
that makes sense. I wish. Anyway.
Yeah.
I wish we had friggin' bullet trains here to go across borders quicker, faster,
All right.
better, stronger,
Harder. All right.
harder.
We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Bye.